being frustrated. Caitlin Clark wanted to come back. Word on the street, front office, even Stephanie White said it down in Phoenix. She stated, we are worried about the long-term health of Caitlin Clark. That has been the topic. That has been all.
The star who turned the Indiana Fever from a losing team to a contender for the playoffs, Caitlin Clark, has been benched by her own front office, not by competitors or age. The face of women's basketball is currently being marginalized by the very suits that owe her everything. But don't worry, Clark isn't going to back down. She isn't taking this lying down. Oh no, it's quite evident that she is fully motivated and prepared to battle. Caitlin Clark is not benched by anyone.
Is Caitlin Clark not playing because she's hurt? She can't come back? Or is she not playing because the organization chose to bench her for the rest of the year? Because Stephanie White has come out and made some comments, and
All right, take this. With 23 wins, a team record, and their first winning season since 2015, the Indiana Fever are officially headed to the playoffs for the second consecutive year. Quite amazing, isn't it? However, can you predict who won't be playing in the year's most significant games? The player who enabled everything? The person whose name alone generates crowds, media attention, and enormous profits by turning empty seats into sellouts. It was recently announced that Caitlin Clark would miss the remainder of the season, including the playoffs. She's more than simply frustrated, I can assure you of that. She is enraged beyond belief. In all honesty, she is quite entitled to be.
The Indiana Fever are having a tough time covering the tracks to the dirty games they played and screwing over the fans and sabotaging Caitlin Clark. Everybody is on to the dirty games that the WNBA and the Indiana Fever have played this season, manipulating the people and using Caitlin Clark for money and using her fans. Stephanie White has been exposed. Lexi Hall confirms that Caitlin Clark was ready to play and that the team made the decision to keep her out while she was.
The formal justification for your long-term, comprehensive health care. The front desk is essentially bubble wrapping Caitlin Clark for a distant future that seems to be more important than the here and now, as if they were safeguarding the crown jewels. They are essentially congratulating themselves for exercising caution, hoping that we will stop and applaud them for excluding the player who made this team a must-watch basketball team. After Clark brought the Fever back into the spotlight, she is now being benched as if she were a burden. No one is actually buying it.
Steph, what stood out to you about Caitlin and kind of the array of emotion she probably felt as you came to this decision?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but, and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play and then to, have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration, that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important.
You must comprehend Caitlin Clark is the reason why people are even discussing Indiana Fever, not just another name on the injured list. This organization was a league afterthought for 7 years in a row, and then Clark came along, and all of a sudden they were postseason contenders, packing arenas and dominating SportsCenter. She literally turned the squad from basement dwellers to dance attendees. She didn't just play. It is all due to Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark strapped on her hard hat and steel-toed boots and revolutionized the game of pretend basketball. She turned this previously unmonetizable turd into a league that's getting dangerously close to losing their charity status. Because of Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is on the verge of generating pesos and profit for the first time ever. She brought mainstream attention to a league that never had a chance of breaking into the mainstream. She brought a new fan base. For the first time, people were actually willing to spend money to watch the
Furthermore, How precisely do these lawsuits compensate her? By advising her to forego this one. This isn't merely a tactical error, you know. It's almost disrespectful. The main character shouldn't be benched right before the story reaches its conclusion. It's similar to a Marvel film removing the superhero from the last fight due to wear and tear issues. Really, Caitlin Clark's admirers came for her, and now she's gone just when it counts most.
I'm all for the long-term health, but you got to be a player-first organization. And if that set player is ready to return, she's cleared by the doctors. She's cleared by the damn doctors to play. Been cleared by the doctors to play. Let her fucking play. I am sorry. Y'all sitting up here, donkey and a damn carried everybody, wanting to get all the money you can off one day. It's one day at a time, one day at a time. All this BS y'all doing is ridiculous. And Indiana, you're looking spooky. You're looking spooky. I am sorry.
Let's go back to Sunday, July 15th, 2025 in Connecticut. The game's last minute. After making what appears to be a conventional pass, Caitlin Clark grabs abruptly for her right groin. Everything is captured on camera. With a towel slung over her shoulders and her head buried in her hands, her face was etched with pure frustration and despair. Everything changed in that instant. Here's the worst part, though. It wasn't because she was shut down by doctors. In fact, they gave her permission to practice non-cont. Furthermore, it wasn't because Clark desired to go. She didn't at all. No. The league immediately sensed the final decision taken by the Fever front office. Clark's departure from the court. WNBA TV ratings fell by more than half. It's not a typo. 50%. Over 50% of the audience simply left. Why? Due to Caitlin's absence from the game. She has a gravitational pull like that. Her performances are an occasion. Well, it's simply another game when she doesn't. Take a peek at her initial confrontation with Angel Reese's squad. ESPN has 2.7 million viewers. The year's most watched game. Clark lit up the internet with a triple-double post. A lot of side-eye and 12 points for Reese. As you can see, Caitlin Clark is the entire show. Additionally, the lights simply don't sparkle as brightly without her.
Instead of allowing Caitlin Clark to elevate the league, WNBA players were overtaken with powerful feelings of jealousy. They resented her. They wanted her to go away. And this season, and especially over the last couple of months, WNBA players have gotten exactly what they wanted. After 2 years of claiming that the WNBA is about more than one player, unknown dump divers were finally given the opportunity to prove it. As expected, the end result has been huge embarrassment.
The Indiana Fever offered fans optimism like a carrot on a stick for over 2 months. They stated that we are only exercising caution today. Caitlin Clark, meantime, was working out diligently every day with the sole objective of returning to the court. She was taking part in shoot-arounds and non-cont drills. She was prepared to guide her club into the postseason and was obviously close to making a comeback. The twist, however, came next. The decision to shut her down was made by the front office, who have profited from the Caitlin Clark phenomena since day one. Not because doctors forbade her from playing, but rather because they wished to safeguard her long-term well-being. Let's simply call it that. Defending their investment, even if it meant benching the player who provided them with their first genuine chance to win a title in a long time.
The Fever fan base has lost so much trust in the Fever organization this year. And not only from the injury reporting, but it stems from the injury reporting. There's been some very, very weird injury reports this season, and the math isn't mathing. And I've also been one to defend the organization to a certain extent because you don't always want to give away too much information. And I've placed a lot of the blame on the reporters. I'm like, how are the reporters not able to get to the bottom of this and at least give us some?
Every executive should shudder after reading the statement that Caitlin Clark recently made. Although I had hoped to provide a more positive update, I will not be playing again this season, she stated. Every day, I dedicated hours to the gym with the sole purpose of going back out there. The term disappointed is insufficient to express how I feel. Give that some time to register. The word disappointed is insufficient. This is Caitlin Clark. a lady who has experienced strain that most people would find unbearable, who hoisted a whole league on her shoulders, transformed Indiana Heat from a dismissed team into a postseason contender, broke attendance records, and dominated national news. She did more than simply motivate a group. She gave a whole sport new life. Nevertheless, she feels utterly disappointed in her own organization. That goes beyond simple annoyance. Betrayal is what that is. They benched her during the most significant run of games in 10 years, despite everything she has done to improve the brand, increase revenue, and restore the Fever's reputation. The front office believed they knew better, not because the doctors said no or because she couldn't play. This is more than just a mistake. The person who saved them is being slapped in the face.
This is a sabotage job, you guys. Flat out, point blank. You guys have not been open and up front. You guys have talked about long-term health and wellness. You guys have not been up front with the injuries, with the injury report, with the timetable. You guys left this girl listed as day-to-day and questionable for months at a time. That is not being upfront with the people. It's not. It's not. It's not. You guys hid an injury, an ankle injury, for weeks. You guys hid an ankle injury for weeks.
This work is sabotage. You people are complete and utter jerks. You haven't been honest and forthright. You guys have discussed long-term well-being and health. You have not disclosed the injuries, the injury report, or the schedule in a clear and concise manner. 4 months at a time, you guys left this girl categorized as doubtful and day-to-day. That isn't telling people the truth. It isn't. It isn't. It isn't. For weeks, you guys concealed an ankle injury. For weeks, you people concealed an ankle injury.
She hurt her ankle in August. That was really the dagger that ended the season. But also, they had no idea when that groin injury would have healed. See, this is the part that's frustrating with these guys, is that why can't they just say mid-grade 2 or 3? Just tell the truth. Was it a 1? Was it a 2? Was it a 3? Was it a 1, but she re-aggravated in practice or something? Did they over-push her?
The excuse from the front desk. We're not giving it a timeline. We are most concerned about Caitlin's long-term health. How honorable, how thoughtful, how completely offensive to a fierce rival such as Clark. Throughout her career, this woman has persevered in the face of hardship. I never missed an Iowa game. During her first WNBA season, she never missed a game. However, all of a sudden, the front desk is more knowledgeable about her anatomy than she is. However, this is the reality that they most certainly do not want you to know. Clark was taking an active part in team exercises. She was leading the team in 5-on-0 exercises. She was quite close to going back. The team's daily line was questioned by medical professionals as well, who said it was deceptive and implied her injury was minor rather than season-ending. However, the Fever just shut down the player who made them important again, rather than allowing their star to complete what she started.
She stated, I miss it too. Y'all want to know why Caitlin Clark said this? Because Caitlin Clark never wanted to sit out. Caitlin Clark wanted to come back. Caitlin Clark wanted to come back, and they're treating her like she's property. That's what the Indiana Fever is doing. She's their property now. And since Caitlin Clark can have the say on whether she can play basketball or not, which is completely damn me ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. If she could play and she want to play, let her fucking...
What is Caitlin Clark's exact reaction to this betrayal? This has been really frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. She said openly and honestly. The fans' unwavering support of me and the Fever has given me a great deal of happiness and valuable insight. This crew has persevered through hardship this year, and I am incredibly proud of them for that. It's time to wrap up the season and secure our place. Look at what she did there now. She expressed gratitude to the supporters. She gave her teammates a lot of praise, but she said nothing to thank the front office for benching her. That quiet tells pretty much everything. During the most important games of the year, Clark is fully aware of who is in charge of keeping her off the floor. She isn't concealing it either.